thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. You are watching Still Toking with. My name's Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. We have a great show scheduled for you as always. And with us, let me find him here. Benjamin.
Yay. Happy 2024. I want to say that right away. You know, we've been blessed to be going into our 5th season with so many amazing guests over the years. But tonight's guest is in the next category, folks. Legendary, and she is above that. I don't know what is above it, but that's where she is. And I'm just going to kind of leave it right there and let Jeffrey do what he does.
Jeffrey.
She's going to be one of my favorites now. I first met her a couple of months ago because she called me sassy. So I guess I'm a little sassy. I like that. Let's just bring it right in. Let's welcome Kathy Garver.
Hello, iconic. Would that be good? Is that above legendary? Should we vote for that one?
I do like that. That is perfect. Iconic. I will have to put that into the show notes.
All right. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year to you. Hopefully 2024 is going to be better than 2023, which was better than 2022.
Well, they say that the Chinese, that this has, I think, 5 Saturdays, 5 Fridays, 5 Sundays. That only happens once every 834 years, and it means lots of money and abundance. So I'm looking forward to it. I like to put money in the coffers. It's a good thing.
Right?
Right, right. And we ended the year with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which is unique in itself too.
Right. That's true. Yes. We take
You
on
know?
any little thing that we can hold on to that is going to bring us luck and abundance. That's the wisdom of an icon.
That is.
Okay. Right.
Wow.
You may wonder, why am I an icon? Is that what you're wondering?
Oh,
Should
wow.
we tell all your platforms and all
Well,
the viewers
see-
why I am an icon?
I know why you're an icon, because I went to print my show notes and it became a book.
Wait a second. You actually printed your show?
PG, right? PG book.
I had to print some show notes because she has been involved in everything, literally in the entertainment industry from A to B to Z. She has done something in there. She has been in the industry since, I believe, 1953.
Yeah.
Careful.
Hey,
Yeah, it's because I'm a Sagittarian, and we can't stick with one thing. We have to have lots and lots of things to keep us occupied, so we don't do bad things.
Right,
So
right.
we can keep
And
on the trail.
One of the things that excited me was that when I read that you were in, you played a zombie, actually.
I did.
Yes.
And I was watching your trailer in the preface here, and I was in the zombie movie, but I did an audition for Liquid Death. And in my audition, I thought I was wonderful, and I get eaten by a zombie, and they're taking out my insides. But I didn't get the part. I perhaps overacted, which my husband says I do quite frequently. But I tell him, I say, I overact in life. Why wouldn't I not overact in, a role? So anyway.
Maybe they just thought you were too cute to be in a zombie movie.
Maybe.
Either that or they looked at her resume and they went, like, we just can't do this to her.
Right. Either that or is she still alive? I thought she was dead. So.
No.
Okay, so I got a really weird question that I want to ask right off the bat, because I was getting conflicting reports based on different things that I was reading. Okay. Are you 5'1" or 5'4"?
Well, it depends on what size shoes I have on. Well, it does. I can be really almost any height you'd like. I can be 5'1", or I can be 5'4", or 5'5", or even taller, if you'd like.
Okay. Well, I just can't discount that answer. So.
No, you can't.
It's rational. It's correct.
But most people get their height measured without their shoes on. So.
Oh, you want that measurement? Well, I don't know. I think I'm getting smaller. Once upon a time, I was 5 feet and half an inch, and that's rounded up to 5'1". But okay. I usually put in my resume that I'm 5'4", because I usually wear shoes when I go on an interview.
Okay.
See, so
that explains it. Perfect.
Yeah, right. So there you have it.
I know that was an odd question, but I wanted to get that out of my head.
Okay, so how tall am I?
You're 5'5".
Okay. All right. I just have house shoes on now because I'm at my house in a Zoomer.
So you're 5'3" today.
Okay, I was going to say 5'2.5" because I was going to do a story in the middle.
Oh yeah, see, you're such a mediator and an ameliorator. This is good. This is why you guys make such a good couple. And then Leo's got you all with the sound and the looks. It's it's a
Leo likes to keep the show on the tracks.
It's a very difficult job at times.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
You talk to him for 5 minutes. It's where are you going with that exactly?
It's like
the process, Leo.
It's like wrangling cats that are on cocaine. It's
Did you see Cocaine Bear? The movie?
Yes.
Cocaine Bear.
Loved it.
It's so funny. I swear to God. I've never taken cocaine. I don't usually do drugs. I don't know why I'm doing a show with Still Toking, but the cocaine, it was so funny. That bear. I love that bear, actually.
That was a great flick. I loved the whole thing.
Well,
yeah.
But she wasn't in that flick.
No, I wasn't, but I enjoyed watching it.
Okay.
It was kind of immersive. You could be immersive. It could be interactive. It's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's go way back. What was the very first role that you ever played?
I played, and you'll like this, seeing like the tenor of this show in particularly, was The Night of the Hunter. Now, this was one of Charles Laughton's, directed it. It was his first and last movie. And it starred Robert Mitchum and Shelley Winters and Lillian Gish, Peter Graves, Billy Chapin, who was Lauren Chapin's brother. And it's about this murderer who is a preacher. And when it first came out, it just got awful reviews. And it has now become a cult movie. It's like one of the best horror films that has ever been made, because it's a psychological thriller, and it's not all the big effects with the zombies and the this and the that. It's a story. It's a story, and people are engrossed in the story, and it's a scary story. So, but there isn't any like real blood, and it's beautifully done. The cinematography is super, super good. I recommend this movie. So that was the first thing I was in, was a horror film. And the very
Go figure.
Go figure.
Right.
And the scene, it was in the cellar of this house where this crazed preacher is trying to get the brother and me and trying to take us and to kill us or do something bad with us. He's trying to find the money. And we're in his way. So he breaks all this glass and everything. So that was the first thing. Then I went to the 10 Commandments.
Yep.
From horror to holy. So
Yep.
God was looking after me. He wouldn't let his little girl go astray. I was a very tiny girl. I mean, this wasn't the silent version of 10 Commandments, but I was still a very small girl.
Right.
Yeah, that came out in.
Oh, we're not talking dates here. We're not talking dates or heights.
Didn't you get that at the beginning?
In there, so
Yeah. I need some water after this. What?
By the time we're done, you might need some wine.
That comes at 5:00, and where I am,
Okay.
it's only 4:12. My husband, my dear husband of 42 years, I have him trained somewhat, but he puts out a nice little glass of Chardonnay for me on the entry table at 5:00 every night. Yeah, so that's nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
That is sweet.
Isn't that
That is
nice?
sweet.
Right. Are you
So-
listening, Ann?
He's downstairs.
See, I can't say that to my wife because, I mean,
You haven't been married for 42 years.
well, no, married long enough, but she likes to bring me my dinner.
Oh, well, that's
So-
nice of her.
Oh yeah, I mean, everywhere we go, I'll make your plate. I'm like, I can do it. She's like, no. So I sit there and I just watch everybody stare at me.
Well, she's a caretaker. She's a nurturer. She loves you. That's why. I mean,
No.
it's,
I get the foods over there.
now you have a modern relationship. I would say that Ben's relationship is, I don't want to say old-fashioned, but it's a little old-fashioned because your wife seems like Jeff a little bit more modern. I actually am old-fashioned, and after he is so kind to bring me the wine and I drink a little bit of wine, then I just have a wonderful time making him dinner with the wine.
Oh,
and
so
I bring it to him, and so that's okay. So
Nice.
that's what you have to do, Jeff. Give your wife a little wine before it's
Yeah,
time.
I might have to start doing that. We've been married for 36 years, so maybe it's time.
Yeah.
yeah. So,
you know.
so what she's telling you is to give her a glass of wine, not go down there in wine.
Yes, you don't need the
Oh.
H in there. There's WHINE and WINE. Homophobes, they're called, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so in my household, it would be vino.
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 Vino is very nice. For an Italiano, wine, a Pinot Grigio. It's good for you.
See?
See, yes, it's very good for you. Yes.
And this is why she's iconic, folks. So, like you said, you went, from the horror to the holy, and then you did a lot of cameo appearances in some really big TV shows.
Yes.
Yes. TV was just coming into the fore and making that transition. So some of the first television series shows, appearances that I did were in black and white. Like Father's Knows Best. That was
Yep.
one of the things. Armis Brooks. That was black and white. And actually, Family Affair was one of the first shows in color. I'll say
Right.
that date. That was 1966. But all the shows that I had done before that were primarily in black and white.
Right.
Yeah, so
And
the
you were,
Rifleman was black and white. I know
Yep.
that.
the Bing
Yep.
Crosby show,
Right?
Yep,
Mhm.
Patty Duke.
Patty
all of
Duke
those.
show.
Milton Berle show.
Girl, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, hello,
Yeah.
folks. This is why she is iconic.
No,
Look
this
at
is
the
why
name.
I'm old. I can remember all those things and actually was immersive. That's a modern word in those things.
Now, of
Patty
all those
Duke show was great.
daytime, the cameos you did over, during that course of your career, does one stand out more than the others?
I enjoyed doing the Patty Duke show, and I did like 3 or 4 episodes of that as her friend Monica, and we became very good friends. And up until she died. And one of the books that I've written like 5 books. I have another one coming out this year. Was Surviving Cissy, and she was kind enough to write the foreword in it. And then what was really special to me is that there was a man, Bob Jankowski, and he was writing a book about Patty in the presence of greatness. And she died, unfortunately, before the book came out. But it's an excellent book. And he asked if I would do the audiobook version of it. I've done like 80 audiobooks, won 4 Audie Awards. And so it was like an homage to her. I felt like she was like right with me. And, the spirit, talking about spirits of zombies or good spirits, her spirit was just like right there. And I could almost like feel her voice coming through me as I read the book about her when he's asking her questions. And then she's answering him in this book, In the Presence of Greatness.
Wow.
So that one stands out in my mind very much so.
Okay. Did you have a hard time reading that book? Because she had passed, so emotionally, was it more difficult than a lot of the other ones?
That's so interesting that you ask that, because that has never really been asked. And yes, it was very hard. I felt really, really, really sad and very moved, because she had so much strife and trouble in her life, and that made me very sad. And from drugs to this, not drugs. And then she had the bipolar condition, which was not diagnosed until way, way, into her life. And she wrote, My Name is Anna. That was her, always this struggle to, who am I really? I'm not Patty. My name is Anna. And to find her identity and to be strong with her identity. So she had, yes, it was a kind of a sad life in many ways.
Okay.
Even though she's Academy Award winner and so well remembered and loved, but it's hard sometimes being an actor, and it's a lonesome kind of business at times.
Right. Because
it must be a great audio though, because you've got real feeling put into it.
Yes, it won an award, I think a platinum award for the audio book and my narration. I can't remember exactly which one that was, but anyway, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and you said it could be lonesome at times, and what the fans and viewers don't realize is what goes on when the camera's off.
Yes, and so many people are sad. And another book that I wrote was Ex-Child Stars. Where are they now? And the child star has all this adoration, and public relations are putting them here and there, and they have makeup artists and hair people and wardrobe people, especially one that's on a TV series. That's my book covers primarily those television child stars. And then they're not on the series anymore. And then they're 13 or 15 and they're tweeners, and they don't know, first of all, who they are. And all of the adoration is gone. And then a lot of times the money is gone because the parents have spent it or did not save it. as did my fabulous mom and dad parents did, and then they get on drugs because then they're depressed, and then you see such a plethora of overdose with all these kid actors because they're sad, they're depressed, they're penniless, they don't have any money. Poor Anissa Jones on Family Affair that played Buffy, absolutely adorable, smart, spirited little girl, took an overdose, and Johnny Whitaker that played Jody was on drugs and alcohol and drugs, and his family finally did an intervention and said, and this is public, I'm not saying anything out of
right.
This is public knowledge, did an intervention and saying, if you don't stop drugs and everything, we're going to divorce you as a family. So he got his act together and he stopped drugs, but others were not so
lucky.
Right.
It's a high percentage too, unfortunately.
Very, very high. Rusty Hamer from Danny Thomas, and he had an unfortunate, and that caused Paul Peterson. Do you know Paul Peterson? He was on the Donna Reed show, and he started an organization called A Minor Consideration to help these, not the ones that are with the pickaxes, but the MINORs that were really having trouble, and to try and give them a path.
Right.
Well,
that's a good.
You can talk now while I have some water.
Okay. You did stage work too, didn't you? Back in
Lots
the day?
of stage work. From Shakespeare to comedy, and that was the time that they also had dinner theaters. I love dinner theaters, really. I thought it was such a great concept, and people can eat and they can be entertained, and they were fun comedies to do, and they paid well. And that was after Family Affair and after I'd gone to London to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, and I had graduated from UCLA with a bachelor's degree in speech. That's why I talk so much. And so that was, it kind of filled a niche, trying to find what I wanted to do besides acting, which I like to act. So, but that continued, and I did a lot of stage plays. Then I came back and got into the voiceover world,
right?
Which was fun.
Yeah,
and I'm still in that.
Right.
You were in some pretty amazing stuff. Obviously, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. You were Firestar. What are some memories of that? And what are your honest thoughts about Miss Lion?
I ain't lying about Miss Lion. I'll tell you that. It's always good to have a dog in a show, whether it's a live show or it's an animated show. And Frank Welker, who, was the Mel Blanc of the modern age, he can do, I don't know how many voices. And he is known in Hollywood for being the best purveyor of animal voices that ever lived. And so he played Iceman as well as Miss Lion. So he was, yes, I'm Iceman. And so he could, instantly go back and forth. Since Disney bought Marvel, Firestar has had a real insurgence. As a matter of fact, I just got an email today, and they said, well, I have a podcast about the X-Men, and would you be interested in coming on and talking about Firestar? She's really hot right now. That's my word, hot. Well, she is in many ways. Where is she? This is a big one that they just brought out, and this is a statue. Awesome. This is a statue of Firestar. But also, last year they brought out the little toy, and then this is the bigger toy. Now Leo is talking about, there's Ms. Lion over there, that's mirrored. It's on our other side. There's Ms. Lion. I do not know why Firestar has two heads. This is interesting.
Hey, she loses
why
one.
they would decapitate her. She's not losing her mind, but just her head. I guess.
Does she have a different mask or something? So a lot of those figures, people do like posing them and doing like dioramas and stuff like that.
Yes, and I think that's it. And this one, her hair is like in front, And then in this one, her hair is waving in the back. So I did ask someone about that. And they say if they put them on a stand, as you say, they can mold them
Pose
and
them, yeah.
make them, pose them. And then, see, I just got all kinds of things over here. And this is, they brought out all three of us. And now they're even a bigger set of all three. God knows what's
Wow.
going to come out in 2024, but I'm anxious
Right.
about it. Bring it on. It's all fun. It's all fun.
Well, I mean, you mentioned Disney. They're bringing back the old X-Men cartoon. I could only imagine them bringing back the old Spider-Man cartoon as well. That'd be amazing.
Well, yes,
Bump.
bump. It's on every Saturday. And so it's on the Disney Channel, the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And we now finally get residuals from that. We did not get residuals from Family Affair, but we do get residuals from Spider-Man. And I think there's been talk about a live action Firestar. I'm a little old to play that, but I could play Aunt May. That's a really good idea. I
Yeah.
should play
Yeah,
Aunt
see?
May. Yeah.
Wow.
I just got cast today in a movie that I'm going to do at the end of January, which is Christmas at Roanoke Ranch. Actually, it was kind of my idea, and there's a long story, and I'm not going to bore you with all the story, but it's about therapy horses and kids with disabilities. And of course, it's a Christmas movie. So there's the I own the ranch. There's my daughter falls in love, with the guy, and boy gets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl. So that's the traditional thing that's in it. But it's in Michigan in the end of January, beginning of February, and I hear it's cold in Michigan.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
born in Los Angeles, and I'm used to it's cold here at 54. Very, very cold. And I saw what it was in Lowell, Michigan. It's like 15 degrees. Who ever heard of 15 degrees?
But that's like during the day when it's warm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeff. You have made this whole, expedition that I'm going to Michigan so much more interesting now. I can hardly wait.
Well, when you get in that cold, there'll be parts of your body exercising that haven't exercised in a while.
Well, yes.
Yeah. It's called your lungs.
They don't breathe, right? No,
They freeze.
I asked the director producer. I said, "Okay, now," because he says, "I don't want to scare you up, but it gets cold here." And I said, "Well, do you have those nice little hand warmers, those nice little foot warmers, and then in between sits you have a great big woolly blanket?" So hopefully they'll have that, and I can.
They have the battery big like blanket coat things that
Yes.
are heated.
I've heard things that you can stick into your coat, and it's.
Mhm.
Of course, I look like Santa Claus in that. But I don't want to look.
Well, like what the players wear on the side of football games in the middle of winter. They're like this big.
Oh! I know what you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yes, I know what you're talking about. That would be a great idea. Could you send me one, please? I mean, just because I like you guys.
Okay. Well,
Is that such a big thing to ask for?
I'll have to make a height adjustment on it.
Just cut it in two. You can keep the bottom and then use it as a shawl, or give it to your wife, and then maybe she'll bring you dinner. Yes.
My mother-in-law's 4'10", so
Really?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a 6'7" stepson.
Wow.
So there you go. I'm 5 feet confident. He's 6'7". My husband's 6'3". So our son is like 5'11". He got like right in the middle there. But now, what about you, Ben? How about your kids?
Oh God, they're all different heights. So yeah,
Isn't it interesting the way genes work?
Yeah. You look at some of them, you go, "You sure you're mine?" Yeah, that's what I say, anyways. But I know they're all mine because they all have my attitude.
Oh, which is a good attitude.
Oh,
Yeah.
It depends. It depends. I'm relatively easygoing until somebody pushes the wrong button, and then I have the Italian/Indian temper.
American Indian.
Yeah.
Ah.
And Italian.
That's very spiritual.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
when the
have
two,
kids, Leo?
We have a furry one.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Italians are they can be very. Did you ever do the DNA thing?
no,
Did you ever do that, Jeff?
What, DNA thing? No.
You know, Ancestry 24.
Ancestry.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
see,
no,
my
no.
my
I don't want
my
my
wife
DNA
chimed
out
in.
there. I don't want my DNA out there.
Yeah.
That could contaminate things.
So my wife chimed in. Our children range from 5'4" to 6'2".
Ah, yeah. It's and that's in my regular family. I have my sister is my height, and then I have a 6-foot brother and a 5'10" brother. So there you have it. It's genes. Well, I know my kids don't want to do that because of that very same thing. Because I don't want my DNA out there.
No.
So they're a little paranoid. They won't even go on Facebook or anything. You could go on my Facebook though if you want.
Which is in the
very
show
open.
notes.
Yes.
Leo,
Up above or down below,
where can
along
we
with all
find
the
out
links.
about all this amazing stuff?
Jeff just said. Up,
Yeah, but I'm going to let you do it because I like the way you do it too.
Yeah, it's up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us.
That's my Facebook. Is that what you're doing? Yes. Very
Yeah,
nice.
your
Facebook,
actually
website.
your Facebook, your website, a lot of your social medias, so IMDb's and Wikipedia's. You can go check out all the stuff because we're just not going to be able to cover everything that this
Right, but-
amazing, iconic lady has done in her career.
They have the wrong age on all those things, especially IMDb. And
IMDb is full of mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got the wrong age, the wrong height. I don't know what's wrong with them.
I don't look at the age and the height anyways.
Oh, okay. You look at the spirit. That's what we should all look at. Just the spirit.
Right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, when you're 35, you're 35. I mean, it's
Or
that easy.
39 even, it's okay.
So I just want to say on your website, which is kathygarver.com, I saw you can buy a autographed Firestar artwork, which is totally awesome. So everybody watching, go get a Firestar autograph.
Yes.
Go buy your books.
It's a great picture. And I'm going to have my website person put on these. As a matter of fact, I was thinking, because I'm doing the Pasadena Comic-Con right before I go to that chili place called Michigan. That chili place. And I don't mean the kind that has beans in the hamburger. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take a picture of the ones I just showed you so they can be on my website and then people can buy them there. Also, my 6'7" stepson makes wonderful candles, Cissy candles that are nice. Soy candles that don't make smoke. It's what I had for Christmas. I made a Christmas memory from Kathy, but I did that as a show. Truman Capote wrote a wonderful short story. One of the first things that he ever did was called A Christmas Memory, very autobiographical. And so I have adopted that, and I go to different places and I do like a stage presentation, and then we sing Christmas carols, and then we do a meet and greet, and then I give them little candles.
So hold on a minute. A Cissy candle?
Mhm.
Was it like a bust, like the head?
No, it's where are they? I might have some around the room. They're candles. So these are candles. You know what a candle is? You burn the candle.
Yeah, I know what a candle is.
So this was Happy Holidays from Kathy.
Okay. It's a regular candle. Like
It's a
I didn't know
candle.
if it was like a figurine candle kind of a thing, where you burn the top of your head with a wick.
I would not want that to happen to anybody,
Well, that's why
except
I
for
was curious.
zombie. They're already dead. I mean, if you want to put a wick in your head, watch John Wick, and then John Wick gets into your head. But we are going off on a tangent here.
I'm going to bring it back though, because you mentioned, Christmas candles and Christmas songs and Christmas. You actually released a Christmas song
Yes, I did.
called Lem, the Orphan Reindeer. Is
That's
that
right.
correct?
That's correct.
I was going to ask, do you sing that when you do these things?
No, I haven't. But you know what? That's a good idea. I should do that. I'm going to do that. I'll sing Lem the Orphan Day. You know who that was written by?
That was written by.
You're looking at your notes.
I am.
Yes.
Tommy Boyce, Bobby Hart, and S5E Justin?
Yes, this was this is I'm a hoarder, a wee bit of a hoarder. I have everything around me. Just okay. This is Lem the Orphan Reindeer, and Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart wrote The Last Train to Clarksville and the theme for the Monkees. They were very, very popular in the 60s and 70s. And so they wrote me this song, and I was in the booth. I was going to record my song, so I started thinking, in the very midst of nowhere, Santa hollered, "Whoa, it's spider time!" And the producer says, "Wait a minute, what? You're off key," he says to me. "What do you mean I'm off key?" And he says, you're not on the key. And then I read later that Dick Van Dyke was always a quarter of a note off. But anyway, they thought that I was off key. So I was one of the first rappers, and I said the song. And I had a little children's chorus in the background that sang the actual words that were on key. So I would say, in the very midst of nowhere, Santa hollered, "Whoa!" He'd spied a tiny reindeer struggling in the snow. So I said it, and they sang it. And that's a story of Lem, the orphan reindeer. That's it. But I like that. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that when I do next year, Christmas Memory.
That would be really cool.
If I remember to do it, because I'm so old and I'm an icon.
Well, I will text you to remind you. Because you have my number now, because you figured out my last name.
Number, Ben. I had your number when I first met you.
Apparently, you're good at reading people.
Yes,
apparently.
I actually like people very much. I mean, when I'm not talking to you, I'm just kind of, and this is the last time I'm going to say zombie, but I'll walk zombie-like through the house. But I see a person, it just, a person. It's got a heart. It's got a soul. I can talk to it.
Well, some of them do.
Well, yeah. The
Not
live
all.
ones. The live ones.
Well, they might have hearts, but I've met some that don't have souls.
I've met some evil people lately, which is so surprising to me. I always thought that people, I think the last 5 years, I don't know what's happened to people, but they're just like evil people. I said, what's the matter with these people? I mean, they're cruel. They steal stuff. People have stolen titles to my book. They've stolen screenplays that I was attached to, and I didn't get, and all of a sudden I'm not attached. I mean, they've stolen shows. I mean, what's wrong with people? People didn't used to do that. You shook somebody's hand and that was your word. Now you have a contract and it doesn't even matter.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We've seen it. We know.
That's
my unfortunate.
But
a lot of people don't realize like consequences and everything. They're all out for themselves sometimes, and it's heartbreaking.
I think that's the main thing. They think, and okay, we're not talking about politics. However, anybody, but Leo, I think that's right. They just think, oh, this is a great idea. This is going to work. This is going to work. They think of that for the moment, and they don't look and see the consequences of the actions of how that's going to affect other people, what the financial consequences of something like that will be. They just don't see the whole picture. I guess because life is a TikTok and people only see things in moments. It's an Instagram. It's a Snapchat.
Right.
What about enduring things?
Accountability has kind of disappeared a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also respect for your fellow human, it's like we're all in this together, it's, you help each other. You don't try to, put somebody down.
Yeah. You don't step on them.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And and that's too bad. But this is a new year and we're going to have good spirit and people are going to be kind maybe, and people may have accountability. That's a good word. And maybe things will get better. And everybody has a spirit, and everybody's spirit may be wrong, but there is a grand spirit. How do they think people got here? I mean,
aliens.
Big Bang, because of the amoebas that all of a sudden they're in the swamp, getting more cells around them to all of a sudden go into a fish to go into. Anyway, that's evolution.
No, it's just a farm for the aliens.
haven't you heard, Jeff?
The
like, the whole-
primordial pond.
Jeff, you're not keeping up on your alien information. It's all religion.
I've been a little busy.
Okay.
It's all
What have
religion.
you been doing, Jeff, that's keeping you very busy?
Hmm?
What have you been doing that's been keeping you very busy? Getting your own dinner and stuff like that?
No, that's a long story that I can't bring up right now.
Oh, if this is a mystery, you're taunting us?
No, I lost 2 people
Tantalizing
this
us?
month.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there's been a lot going on in my life.
Oh, that's really sad. That is
Yeah.
my sister-in-law passed away 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which was very, very sad.
Yeah, it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but you work your way through it, and you know, have faith in what's to come. And
You come on and do the show with us.
I'm sorry?
I said, and then he comes on and he's on the show with us.
Well, good. I'm glad you
Yeah.
came. I'm
yeah.
glad.
Well,
that
I missed 3 straight weeks, so
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you're back because, you know, a memory becomes a treasure. And so you try and
absolutely.
with those things, you say, yes, that's the memory. Now that's a treasure. I have a friend that takes like a piece of material and makes like a little teddy bear. And so there's a legacy bear. So they're always there. I mean, they're always there, like even, you know, but yeah, it's sad, but you're doing very well because, and see this piece, this is from one of my very, very dear friends, Sebastian, and he lost his mother about 4 months ago, and he was this close to his mother. And so I went down to Palm Springs and I did a memorial, and he gave me some of her jewelry. And when I wear this too, I think, oh, well, I've got Frances here. Frances, you want to come and do the podcast with me? So she's there. And he gave me this lovely purse, and I was looking for something. I couldn't find it. I looked in the purse, and there it was, the only thing in the purse. So people leave little, and there's like little things, I think, that they leave around. Something moved. Today, even, I was actually driving my husband to the hospital, and I put this paper on the top of the dashboard, and we turned a cup, and it moved. I know it could have been around the curve, but there was something that it just moved it. So anyway, I believe in electricity because one may die, but all of their energy and their electrodes and their electricity hang around in a clock or in a light. That's why the ghosts come perhaps in lights or in clocks or, you know, in little sprigs of energy. Energy could be in a sprig. And I think that would be good. Well, I'm so happy that you came, you know, because that's
It's good for me.
It's so good for you. You have to get out and you have to do things. Absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, I got to get back into the shop. I mean, I'm a woodworker, so I've got to get back into that. And,
why don't you make like a little special thing for the person that you lost?
Yeah, I haven't come up with what I want to make yet. That's the problem. That's still being formulated in my little brain.
Something that, you know, signifies, you know, that person to you.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You know?
And then you can make like a little wooden thing of it, or a big wooden thing of it, or whatever.
Yep. That's kind of, you know, next phase, next step. So
because we all lose people, and it's
absolutely.
sad.
Yeah. It's not the first time. I mean, you know, it's
right.
you know, 60 years old. It's like it's that time, you know.
Well, I remember there were two years right in a row where there were a lot of people, like child stars that died, and it was Davy Jones, and there were Cindy Williams just died lately, but you know, a lot of people. I sometimes think that was like in the 60s where everybody was taking drugs, and now that they're in their 60s and 70s, that you just can't keep up with all those things that went on in your body, you know.
Right.
Yeah, the physical being can only take so much.
Right. So you have to drink a lot of water.
Fluids.
Well, I thought she was drinking water so that we could talk.
Yes. Okay. Talk now.
So you've written numerous books,
I've written 5 books.
right?
Yes. My first book that I wrote was the Family Affair Cookbook. I really like to cook. I've had like 3 cooking shows, so I like to cook. And so this was my first one, and it's
What kind of recipes are in there?
well, these follow each character's. So Mr. French has a very gourmet chapter, and Uncle Bill has potent potables, which are cocktails, how to make Manhattans, because we lived in New
Oh,
York,
cool. Okay.
but other cocktails. Then the 2 kids have very easy to make kind of chapter. I have Sissy Sizzle's chapter, and I also said in this book what happened to everybody. And then I wrote ex-child stars. No, I wrote Surviving Cissy. I'm here to talk about it. Then I wrote ex-child stars. Where are they now? But I was just at a convention and I sold out of them. But this is ex-child stars. Where are they now? And then I wrote holiday recipes for a family affair. More good food. These are menus for every month. 5 menus that you can make for all the holidays. And then the latest one is the Family Affair Scrapbook, which is really funny and fun and very bright. Mrs. Beasley has her own chapter, and I'm meeting with Ashton Drake. I have a great idea for them about this. Mrs. Beasley sells like about 150,000 a year still. I mean, and our show is, a couple years old, but it's still on so many different platforms. Who knew there would be, Roku and Decades,
Right.
MeTV and Amazon, and again, all of these
It's
platforms.
rekindling all of that, actually.
Yeah. I mean, same for Firestar, and then same for like Mrs. Beasley. And they are new, like little ornaments that they just brought out this year. They are the cutest things. I don't have anyone's open, but it's just, do you know who Mrs. Beasley was? She was a doll in Family Affair. Yeah. And so I'd have to open the box, I think.
Now,
So
didn't she have a little funny hat on? Did she have a little funny hat, Mrs. Beasley?
well, it's just like she had hair like mine, kind of. She was blonde hair.
Okay.
Although I'm not going to tell the idea that I have for Ashton Drake. That's really great. But anyway, they made a little tiny ornament of Mrs. Beasley. Yes, yes, Leo, you're so good. Look at you. Good, Leo. Look, that is an exact replica, only it's just a little tiny one, and you push her, and she says 11 things. So she'll say, I love you, or Merry Christmas. So she says 11 phrases, as did the Talking Mrs. Beasley. So, and that's just this year. And then they're bringing out the glass blown one. So, I mean, you can take the Mrs. Beasley out of the country, but you can't take the country out of Mrs. Beasley or something or other, or out of Family Affair, or Cissy. Cissy will be around because Ben says she's iconic. I say she's iconic. He says I'm legendary.
Well, Mrs. Beasley's got to be, in my opinion, one of the most famous dolls in the world.
Yes, and she, except for Barbie, I am wearing pink as an homage to Barbie. Not really, but she was the first little old lady doll, and that's what made her stand out or be different. And and Anissa and Buffy carried her around everywhere. She had a personality, and who wouldn't like a nice little grandma to talk to and be comforting and not be your mom and tell you stuff to do, but be
her
your
only
grandma.
competition was Raggedy Ann, actually.
Raggedy Ann.
Yep.
Yeah. And Mrs. Beasley was older, with glasses. She wore little glasses. So.
Wow, too funny.
I was laughing because my wife chimed in and said that Mrs. Beasley doll looked like Leo. I'm sorry, Leo.
I don't know it's that bad.
If we dyed your hair blonde, maybe.
It's just the glasses.
That's funny.
Well, it's the same smile too.
That's funny.
It's
Sorry,
that
Leo.
sarcastic smile. But I'm sorry, Leo. I
Yep.
thought that was hilarious.
So I sent the
That's
I
nice
sent the
that
picture.
your wife is watching. That's nice of her.
Oh yeah, she loves you.
Oh,
So
hi.
I
what's
think
your name?
I sent
met
the
her.
picture to
Yeah.
you, Leo.
Oh yeah,
that
I
I'd like
met her
to- Yeah, you
at
did.
the Northeast Comic Con. That's where we all met. Was in Northeast
Yep,
Comic Con,
yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Jeff, I think Leo's
Yeah,
looking for the
I
picture.
sent you a picture, Leo, from 1968.
Oh, you needed me to do something with that?
Yeah, I wanted you to pull it up.
Okay.
Well, Leo looks for the picture. I do want to bring up something that I read, and that's you're the president of the Family Affair Foundation.
Ah, yes. Yes. So I started that to help kids that couldn't read very much or didn't have anybody to read to them. So I started the foundation and an outreach program.
Mm-hmm.
However, that was up in Northern California. Now I'm in Southern California. So I'm not as active in that as I was when I first started it, because you
Right.
have to build a whole new network. So
Right.
I came down here about 4 years ago.
But still an amazing thing,
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I see that Leo has found the picture, so I'll let you go. Go ahead, Leo.
I just thought it was really cool because
It
I
was.
came across the little bit of the article and I was reading it. I'm like, oh, so I hunted for an actual picture of the cover.
Oh, thank you.
I think Leo's got it somewhere.
Working on it. Hold on.
Working on it.
Well,
Only a picture.
And that's what's so nice
Well,
about
these are
live
the time.
podcasts.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, like they have
Yes,
live
yes.
TV.
So, what do you have for new projects other than this Michigan movie?
Yeah. So
And-
the
There
Right.
it is.
oh yeah, that was one of the top 100 TV guide covers.
Yes.
And there was the article in that about my Family Affair Foundation.
Mhm.
Right? Yes.
I just thought it was so cool when I saw
Yeah.
that. I'm like, it brought back a lot of memories because I remember as a kid getting the TV guide.
Oh, yeah. There was a very, very popular before we had Google or before we had streaming or before
Right.
we knew what we were doing.
Yeah, before you could just scroll and see what's on.
Right. So I'm doing the Pasadena. Well, I'm doing Fred Williamson Celebrity Golf Tournament in Palm Springs. That's the 12th and the 13th of January. So, and that's for the Gary Sinise Foundation. They're benefiting. And then I do the Pasadena Comic Con in Pasadena, of all places. And that's on the 28th of January. Then the 29th, I go to Michigan and freeze in this fabulous movie that I really am looking forward to. Then I come back and I'm going to do a movie in June in Nashville that's being produced by Dolly Parton. And it's called The Times at the Blue Jay Saloon. And I really like this. Now, you would like that. Well, I shouldn't say that because that's a spoiler. Anyway, this is something that it's a nice movie, and it's a PG movie. It's about two younger girls. I play the grandma, and I die. Oh, I shouldn't say this. Okay, see,
You didn't hear that.
I did not say that anyway. So anyway, I'm doing that in Nashville, and that's in June and July. Then I'm working on this movie that hopefully we're just trying to get our last bit of funding, and that would be in Australia, and that's in March. And
Busy.
Yeah, and that's Pollyanna's Wish, and it's based on the original Pollyanna book, and that what's her name? Pollyanna and blonde hair English, Parent Trap with Brian Keith, and then it was redone. Oh my goodness! See, you guys are as old as me. Come on, Leo.
Drawing a blank.
Okay.
Leo, I figured Leo was already Googling it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So Google Pollyanna because she made Pollyanna's.
Haley Mills.
Haley Mills. Who did that?
That would have been.
Oh, Ben. Did you get?
Nope. I didn't get it. One of our viewers.
Well, good for the viewer. Good job, viewer. Good job. Haley Mills. Yes. So she did it and then it was redone. But this is from the original book. Plus, it's going to be in Australia. So we're assembling the cast right now. I'm going to be like a producer, and then I play Mrs. Snow, and with an Australian accent. So, and it's being directed by Nadia Tass, who is an award-winning director and a wonderful, wonderful director in Australia. So I'm working on that. My new book that's coming out this year is called Romancing with the Stars, and I'm doing that with Doug Hartline, who started out as a fan, and we became good friends, and now we're writing this book together. So we're almost done with that. Cool. That should be out. So we're doing those things and some more products and taking care of my family, my 32-year-old son who never left home and invited his girlfriend to live with us 11 years ago. So I have my daughter in love. Will they ever get married? Do they ever get married? Do they ever leave home? They're not going to leave home because we're old and they know that.
It sounds like a Hallmark special.
Right?
Oh, this is a good idea. You bringing up really good ideas. So I'm going to do Lem the Orphan Reindeer, the next to Christmas Memory, and this Hallmark movie about, these kids that have been here for 32 years, that are 32 years old, and their older parents that are.
Everybody will watch it because everybody that has children relates to that.
No, the kid that never leaves.
Literally, my wife and I, in July, our 32-year-old, please don't shoot me if I got his age wrong, our 32-year-old finally left home. But a month later, our 24-year-old moved in with her husband and our granddaughter.
Into your house and took the space that your 32-year-old, if that's his age, left, right?
Pretty much. But I wouldn't trade it because I do love my granddaughter. I love having her here. It's,
For now.
I love
not so much.
I love having the younger kids there. I mean, look at my nails are these bright, sparkly gold things, and I would never have put turquoise nails on my feet, turquoise color on my feet. So this, my daughter in love keeps me up on all the new things around, and she's Indian. She's like Scottish, Indian, Philippine, something Spanish. But anyway, she has a big part that's Indian, and she is super spiritual. She taught me about affirmations, saved my life. I love this woman. She's just terrific. She sages our house. Get all the bad things away, and she's really good, and I love these affirmations. So we have amazing strength within us, all of us, in dealing with whatever there's there, that happens. We have amazing strength, and we are kind, and we attract kindness, and we attract abundance. So you have positive electricity energy going out there, and it's good. It's all because
everything is a learning experience.
I'm sorry?
Everything is a learning experience.
Oh, yes. Yes. And that's another thing. You learn something new every day, and then a lesson maybe each day. And then next day you're closer to where you're supposed to be or divine to be or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I do want to say we are coming up on time. So we only have a few more minutes with our amazing, iconic guest this evening, folks. So if you got any last questions or last comments, get them in there now, because I know in about 2.5 minutes she's going to have a glass of wine waiting for her.
That's right.
And that means that she needs to have her wine and cook dinner.
That's right. Actually, we're going out to dinner tonight, but I'm just going to get my glass of wine before we go anyway.
So I'm sure you've been asked this question before, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you have a standout favorite episode from Family Affair?
Yes, my favorite one is The Waltz from Vienna. And I fall in love with this wonderful prince. And he asks me to marry him. And I'm Austrian. This part of me is Austrian. The other part's Italian, Irish. Anyway, and he asked me to marry him. And then this stupid Cissy says, "Oh no, I'm in love with love. I have to go back to two little kids and a butler."
What are you thinking?
I don't know. So stupid. What's wrong with this girl? This is a prince in a castle.
Fire the writer.
it was fun dancing, and he was very charming. So,
Okay.
there's another Hallmark movie. Yeah,
Right?
they do Prince movies. Yeah.
Oh, they do all kinds of movies.
Yeah, I could play the mother of the girl that wants the prince.
I thought you were going to say the Michigan movie was a Hallmark movie by the way you were talking about it. I was like,
No, they should do a comedy called The Not So Charming Prince.
I like it. Yes, I think this is good.
Right?
Good. Okay, let's write it. Let's get it out there.
Let's go.
We'll do it.
I'm
We'll
ready.
use it. You ready,
No,
Leo? You
I
do all the
volunteer to be
audio
the
and
Not So
text stuff?
Charming
Oh, yeah.
Prince.
Yep.
All right.
I'll write it all as
It's
one long
5 o'clock.
paragraph. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So, Leo, your last question for our guest.
Here's one thing that we ask everybody, and so what is something you dork out about that not too many people know about? Like we had Bruce Valanche on, and we found out like he loves sunken vessels, the history of like sunken ships and stuff like that. Is there something that you dork out about, that isn't really well known, or just for you?
I like to garden. I garden a lot. I have a magic garden that I have set up. It's at the side of the house, and it's Kathy's Magic Garden, and magic things happen there. Because if flowers die, then they're phony flowers I put just in there, then they sprout up. And my son and daughter-in-law got me a lovely fountain to put in the magic garden, and then they got me a little watering can that's solar. It has a solar come out, and so when you pour things out, it looks like water is coming out, but it's actually a stream of lights that
Fairy
have
lights.
solarized.
Oh, cool.
So that was a new addition. I wanted 3 bags of mulch for Christmas, but Santa did not bring my mulch. And my son, we want mulch for Christmas, do you? I said, yes, I want mulch for Christmas, but I didn't get bags of mulch. So probably someone wouldn't know what's on the top of my list is mulch, but there you have it. It needs to, because it would finish off.
Well, I mean, mulch is really only one step up from dirt. So
yeah, no, it's about 4 steps up. It's much nicer than dirt. The rest of my magic garden's in dirt. That's why it needs to have the mulch to match.
Depends on the dirt. There's good dirt and bad dirt, just like there's good rocks and bad rocks.
Well, but mulch. This is good mulch. It's a brownish mulch, not the blackish mulch. It's nice, warm, earthy color. Then we have the ficus trees in my magic garden and flowers.
Cool.
Yes. So that's what I don't know if that's dorking, but I like my Alexa. I thought you were going to say my tech dork, which is Alexa.
It could be.
No, I can't say
love gardening
right here. So if you say Alexa, so she's perking up.
Yeah, she's telling you that it's 5 o'clock and your wine is ready.
It was 5:02.
Oh, it's 5:02. Leo.
Well, we'll wrap things up. Let's see. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. You know me, you know how to find me. Just Google me. But I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network. Head on over to thedorkening.com. You can learn more there. A lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. And so, Kathy, I know we have your website, kathygarver.com, and in the show notes, and your Facebook. Where do you like people interacting with you on social media? Is it mainly Facebook?
Yes, I like them to go to. I have my Facebook fan page. And then I have my personal pages all full. So I like people to be on my Facebook fan. And then I talk to them all. And then I have a newsletter that I send out so people can see where I'm going to be. And then I can see what's happening with them. I like to see what's happening with them also, because I've made so many good friends on Facebook. And I have like little pockets of people when I go to like conventions and get together. So
that's awesome. And I love it. You're doing a newsletter. It's one of my jobs is working in email, and I love that medium. So yeah, absolutely love it.
I have my friends Fred Asher and Manny Kabahunga, and Fred was the co-author of my ex-child star. So I give him like I just put out fodder for January about the different things that I'm going to do. Then he'll incorporate and put in this beautiful, colorful newsletter with graphics and pictures, and he does great. They both do such a great job.
Oh, that's awesome. And
my eyelash is coming off. I never noticed that. Why didn't you guys tell me my eyelash was coming off?
Where?
There. I think
you got
so.
it.
I see.
I didn't even notice. See, you noticed it. I didn't even notice it. Now I'm gonna look because you. Oh,
Well,
stop.
because Leo gave me this great big close up, and I'm saying, "Oh my God, let me fix my hair and look at my eyelash." Okay, can't be perfect all the time, you know.
Well, thank you, Kathy, and we'll kick it over to Jeffrey.
Hold on, let me fix my hair.
Looking good, Jeff.
Thank you, Kathy. It's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. I tried not to be too sassy for you.
No, you were great. And as soon as I get that coat, I am really, really going to like you tons and tons. I'll send you some pictures from Michigan in the big NFL coat.
Oh, okay. All right. What team?
Oh, not telling, because then I'll lose some of my fans.
Okay. So, all right, I got an idea.
I got the best team. The best team.
I got an idea. Well, that won't be us. So.
Well, I was for the Niners for a while because I was in San Francisco, but the Ravens are looking good. Anyway, there's lots of good teams out there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you can pretty much get anything. So it might even be a women's team.
Now, I haven't seen women's football lately, and my husband won't let us watch.
Well, they play in lingerie
basketball.
usually, so
Huh?
They play in lingerie usually.
Oh, well, then I want a big coat. I'm going to Michigan.
She's gonna
I'm not going to Florida. I'm not going to Palm Springs. I want that big coat that you talked about. That the football players wear. You're supposed to keep us on track, Leo.
Yeah, it's difficult when we get to Jeff. He's normally the one that brings us off track. So,
but thank you very much, Kathy. And as far as us, just go to stilltoking.com or Toking with the Dead on Facebook. Leave me alone. Don't Google me. That's a waste of your time. Just, I'll answer you through Still Toking. That's me.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Do you still toke?
No, I do edibles now.
Oh, okay. CB.
Mostly.
Whatever the CBT.
No, I do CBD every day. It's good for the body. It does a lot of good for you.
There's no hallucinogenic side to that.
There's no, yeah. It's great for my sciatic back pain. It's great for all kinds of stuff. I use salves and roll-ons and all that kind of fun stuff, and it really works.
Salves.
Is that how you say it? I'd say solve.
Solves. It's like you're going to solve a problem, so it's a salve. Salve.
He did. He solved the problem of.
You have it your way. I'll have it mine.
But I graduated with a bachelor's in speech from UCLA and a master's.
Okay. Well, I was an English major.
SALVE. Salve.
SALVE.
Salve.
Salvi.
No, salve. Salve. I don't know. I smoked marijuana once with Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart on the streets of New York and passed right out. I said, this is, as you can see, my personality. I don't need anything to make me bubbly or energize me or imagine more things than I do. I looked at the granite the other day in the powder room, and I'm seeing little pictures of my poor dog that I lost like 6 months ago, and they're like, I said, oh, there's her head, and there's a little angel. See, I don't need stuff because I see it. So, sorry.
Wow.
Okay, we're out of time. Ben, you haven't said goodbye to the legend.
Benjamin.
Oh, man. So I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out for the kickoff of season 5. Every Wednesday night, we're going to have amazing guests. Probably not iconic, but some of them might be. You never know who's going to be on the show. And I want to thank Kathy for coming out and taking time to chat with us.
My
it was a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you in the future on the road or wherever. But to all our veterans and first responders, I want to thank you. Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase it. We want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Peace.
So come on.